Silence. All stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court now draw nigh. Give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Ashish Achar.
May it please the court, I move that Ashish Achar be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ashish Achar be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Adina Aj Ali.
May it please the court, I move that Adina Aji Ali be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Adina Aji Ali be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Maya Kaur Bara.
May it please the court, I move that Maya Kaur Bara be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Maya Kaur Bara be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Charles Henry Alexander Bayol.
May it please the court, I move that Charles Henry Alexander Bale be admitted as a member of this honourable court.
Let Charles Henry Alexander Bale be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Catalan Emma Bandow.
May it please the court, I move that Catalan Emma Bandow be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Catalan Emma Bandow be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lily Anna Sanders Borazan.
May it please the court, I move that Lily Anna Sanders Borazan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lily Anna Sanders Borazan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jordan Marie Brink.
May it please the court, I move that Jordan Marie Brink be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jordan Marie Brink be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jack Edward Brown.
May it please the court, I move that Jack Edward Brown be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jack Edward Brown be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Katerina Maya Burdett.
May it please the court, I move that Katerina Maya Burdett be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Katerina Maya Burdett be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Elena Christina Caridis.
May it please the court, I move that Eleni Christina Caridis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Eleni Christina Caridis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rishi Guraj Chugani.
May it please the court, I move that Rishi Gulraj Chugani be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Rishi Julraj Chujani be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Cindy Chung.
May it please the court, I move that Cindy Chung be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Cindy Chung be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Daniel John Corkett.
Daniel John Corkett. May it please the court, I move that Daniel John Corkett be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Daniel John Corkett be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Georgia Ann Cooter.
May it please the court, I move that Georgia Ann Cooter be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Georgia Ann Cooter be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Elizabeth Elters.
May it please the court, I move that Elizabeth Elters be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Elizabeth Elters be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yaiching Fiona Gao.
May it please the court, I move that Yaching Fiona Gao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Yaching Fiona Gao be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Eden Ruby Glover.
May it please the court, I move that Eden Ruby Glover be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Eden Ruby Glover be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Cassandra Marie Goldman.
May it please the court, I move that Cassandra Marie Goldman be admitted as a lawyer to this honourable court.
Let Cassandra Marie Goldman be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Caitlin Davis Goodman.
May it please the court, I move that Caitlin Davis Goodman be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Caitlin Davis Goodman be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Arena Violet Higgins.
It may please the court, I move that Arena Violet Higgins be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Arena Violet Higgins be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Adelaide Georgina Austin Holm.
May it please the court, I move that Adelaide Georgina Austin Holm be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Adelaide Georgina Austin Holm be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zoe Yating Hung.
May it please the court, I move that Zoe Yating Wang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zoe Yating Hang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Madeline Claire Humphreys.
May it please the court, I move that Madeline Claire Humphreys be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Madeline Claire Humphreys be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kate Margaret Jackson.
May it please the court, I move that Kate Margaret Jackson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kate Margaret Jackson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Cameron Mark Jordan.
May it please the court, I move that Cameron Mark Jordan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Cameron Mark Jordan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Matthew James Kelleher.
May it please the court, I move that Matthew James Kelleher be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Matthew James Kelleher be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Grace Gay Kerr.
May it please the court, I move that Grace Gay Kerr be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Grace Gay Kerr be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stephanie Kritikos.
May it please the court, I move that Stephanie Kritikos be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Stephanie Kritikos be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tom William Elwood Lewis.
May it please the court, I move that my son, Tom William Elwood Lewis, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tom William Elliot Lewis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stephen Shuaru Lin.
May it please the court, I move that Stephen Xiaoru Lin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Stephen Xiaoru Lin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Natasha Nanki Madden.
May it please the court, I move that Natasha Nanki Madan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Natasha Nanki Madan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nancy G. Yung Mao.
May it please the court, I move that Nancy Jia Yun Mao be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nancy Jia Yun Mao be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Bridie Kate McDonald.
May it please the court, I move that Bridie Kate McDonald be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Bridie Kate McDonald be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Matthew Joseph McLeod.
May it please the court, I move that Matthew Joseph McLeod be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Matthew Joseph McLeod be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Oscar Knoll.
May it please the court, I move that my son, Oscar Knoll, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Oscar Knoll be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zane Kurt Norris.
May it please the court, I move that Zane Kurt Norris be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zane Kurt Norris be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Matthew Joseph O'Rourke.
May it please the court, I move that Matthew Joseph O'Rourke be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Matthew Joseph O'Rourke be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Nikita Rose Reed.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter Nikita Rose Reed be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Nikita Rose Reed be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Julia Louise Kelly Rowland.
May it please the court, I move that Julia Louise Kelly Rowland be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Julia Louise Kelly Rowland be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jemima Alice Stratton.
May it please the court, I move that Jemima Alice Stratton be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jemima Alice Stratton be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Inam Tabik.
May it please the court, I move that Inam Tabik be admitted a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Inam Tabik be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alana Toko Yaneda Tarrant.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter, Alana Toko Yaneda Tarrant, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alana Toko Yaneda Tarrant be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amelia Fraser Taylor.
May it please the court, I move that Amelia Fraser Taylor be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amelia Fraser Taylor be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sian Sedidas.
May it please the court, I move that Sian Sandidas be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sian Santidis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Emma Elizabeth Grace Turner.
May it please the court, I move that Emma Elizabeth Grace Turner be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Emma Elizabeth Grace Turner be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Danny Yassine.
May it please the court, I move that Danny Yassine be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Danny Yassine be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lu Na Zhu.
May it please the court, I move that Luna Zhou be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Luna Zhu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michelle Wei Ning Zhu.
May it please the court, I move that Michelle Wayne Zhu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Jerry. Emma Rose.
What about Danny Yassine?
No, he came.
Emma Rose Walkie.
May it please the court, I move that Emma Rose Walkie be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Emma Rose Welke be admitted as a lawyer of this court. I also admit, as a lawyer of this court, Cheng Jin Zhu by a special process of remote admission in absentia. Will now be necessary for those people whose admission has just been moved to stand and remain standing as directed by Mr. Rishnikov for the purpose of swearing an oath or making a declaration. So please stand as directed.
If just Rose
Just-
1 and 2 could stand. Thank you. Ashish Achar, Adina Aj Ali, Maya Kaur Bara, Charles Henry Alexander Bayol, Catalin Emma Bandan, Lily Anna Saunders Borazan, Jordan Marie Brink, Jack Edward Brown, Katerina Maya Burdett, Eleni Christina Caradis, Rishi Guraj Chugani, Cindy Chung, Daniel John Corkett, Georgia Ann Cooter, Elizabeth Elters, Yaching Fiona Gao. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
I do.
Please be seated. If rows 3 and 4 could stand, please. Eden Ruby Glover, Cassandra Marie Goldman, Caitlin Davis Goodman, Arena Violet Higgins, Adelaide Georgina Austin Holm, Zoe Yating Hung, Madeline Claire Humphreys, Kate Margaret Jackson, Cameron Mark Jordan, Matthew James Kelleher, Grace Gay Kerr, Stephanie Criticos, Tom William Alwood Lewis, Stephen Shawaru Lin, Natasha Mankey Madden, Nancy Yijung Mao, Bridie Kate McDonald, Matthew Joseph McLeod, Oscar Knoll, Zane Kurt Norris. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a law of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Please be seated. If rows 5 and 6 on my left, please stand. Matthew Joseph O'Rourke, Nikita Rose Reed, Julia Louise Kelly Rowland, Jemima Alice Stratton, Inam Tabek, Alana Toko Yanada Tarrant, Amelia Fraser Taylor, Cian Cesanis, Emma Elizabeth Grace Turner, Emma Rose Walkie, Danny Yasin, Lu Na Zhu, Michelle Wei Ning Zhu. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state, according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
I do.
Please be seated.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to this, the Banco Court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench today, to my immediate right, is Justice Payne, a Judge of the New South Wales Court of Appeal. To my immediate left, Justice Carolyn Simpson, also a Judge of the Court of Appeal and one of the longest-serving judicial officers this court has ever had. And to Justice Payne's right, Justice Nicholas Chen of the Common Law Division of this court. Together, we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you, the newly admitted lawyers, to practice this morning. And we have done so, as I say, sitting in this court, which stands on the land for which the Gadigal of the Eora Nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years. And the court pays its sincere respects to elders past and present and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I also acknowledge, sitting in the well of the court, the Honourable former Justice Jeffrey Bellew, now Chair of the State Parole Authority of New South Wales, and I acknowledge his presence and welcome him. To all of the newly admitted lawyers, welcome to the legal profession. This morning is one of great celebration. We up here know how hard you have all worked to get here, to reach this milestone. It's a memory that never really leaves you. I'm also pleased to welcome those with you today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends will have been invaluable on the journey thus far. No doubt they've also been on the receiving end of your finely polished or emerging skills of argument and persuasion, and I encourage you to take the time to thank them for their tolerance. And support. Depending on how good an advocate you are, you might even convince them to shout you to a very long and civilised lunch after the ceremony. In being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join an honourable and ancient profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dating back to the 12th century. And this court first admitted lawyers in 1824, nearly 200 years ago. And by 1830, the names of lawyers were entered onto the rolls in this state, just as you will do immediately after this ceremony. Next May, the court to which you've just been admitted celebrates its 200th anniversary. It is, you might be surprised to learn, one of the oldest continuing courts in the world. That is something of which we, and I hope now you, are and will continue to be immensely proud. This ceremony is marked, as will be obvious, by some unique formalities, including the fact that your admission has been moved by somebody who is already a member of the legal profession, and that you have just made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers and before senior judges of the Supreme Court. They and we are all witnesses to the serious promises and undertakings you have made. In terms of tradition and formality, you'll see from portraits of former Chief Justices which adorn the walls of this court that we are wearing the same robes, in some cases literally, I have to say, as have been worn by our predecessors. We don't wear them because they are particularly comfortable, which they are not, but we do so because symbolically they serve to highlight the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales, although the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. As to continuity of the rule of law, we live in a world in which there is so much global uncertainty and insecurity. And in that world, the rule of law is more important than ever, and not simply a phrase of some theoretical import or academic interest. The rule of law is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists. And we know that there is nothing theoretical about those matters. The law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation that you have just made is a serious one and deserves solemn regard. Whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, a Crown Law office, the Aboriginal Legal Service, for legal aid, or for a government department or agency, or indeed in an entirely different field, you should be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice, and must strive at all times to uphold these cardinal values. And I should say that applies whether or not you continue to practice in courts, such as this, and the district court and the local court and the other courts of the state and the federal courts, or if you're not a litigator, if you're a commercial lawyer or a practicing lawyer, your ethical obligations continue. They are high expectations and serious responsibilities which you are expected and indeed required to adhere to. Now, notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending this ceremony, the life of the law is dynamic. Not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. We saw in recent years, hastened by the pandemic, a rapid shift in the use of technology in our courtrooms, indeed, including this courtroom. And that has contributed to some reduction in costs and logistical difficulties for some litigants, as well as delivering greater flexibility, especially for practitioners with family responsibilities and in regional and remote communities. But while the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, it's important to remember that the practice of law has human nature and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, perform under pressure, and deal with each other. There have, of course, been other important changes in our profession that deserve attention, in addition to those brought about by the pandemic. The composition of the profession is increasingly diverse, not only in terms of gender, but also in terms of ethnic diversity. In terms of gender, the profession has changed dramatically. In New South Wales, women were not even permitted to practice until 1918 with the passage of the Women's Legal Status Act. But it took many, many decades after that for women to make their mark in the legal profession. Justice Simpson, to my left, was the second only female judge appointed to the Supreme Court. We now have approaching 40% of the judges on the Supreme Court distinguished female judges. So there has been change. Female practitioners make up more than 2/3 of solicitors under the age of 35 in this state. And some of the most senior positions in the law in Australia are held by distinguished female lawyers, including the current Chief Justices of the Federal Court, as well as the Supreme Court of Victoria, Queensland and the ACT, as well as Justice Julie Ward, who is the President of the New South Wales Court of Appeal. And this applies also in the profession. The state's Director of Public Prosecutions and the state's Senior Public Defender, as well as the presidents of the New South Wales Bar Association and the Law Society of New South Wales, are also distinguished female practitioners. There should also be strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates, and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can, and feel that they can, be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community. The admissions ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge almost 5 years ago, including this ceremony, highlight that there is far greater diversity of background among junior lawyers than there was when we all commenced practice in the legal profession. That is a very good thing, and leaders of the profession and of the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity. That in turn builds trust in and respect for both the judiciary, the legal profession, and ultimately the rule of law. Now, let me now offer a little bit of professional and personal advice. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools you have developed to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and the administration of justice. At various points in your career, you will make mistakes, some minor, some maybe more serious. We all make mistakes from time to time, especially when embarking on something new. When you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. One mistake which I always urge young practitioners not to make is not to fall into the practice of giving your clients the advice you think that they want to hear. That will almost invariably not be good advice, and they will not welcome it in the long run when the true picture emerges. Lawyers must give carefully considered, expert, independent advice. Being a lawyer means that you are an advisor, a problem solver, a mediator, and sometimes an advocate. As you go about your day-to-day work, remember that you are not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but as it applies to people's lives. An individual in need of your services as a lawyer is in many cases an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, or health or financial position. For these reasons, you must always strive to deliver legal services not only competently and fearlessly, but always with courtesy, integrity, and sensitivity to the circumstances of the matter. In this context, I wish to emphasise the importance of civility. Aspects of the law, especially if you are involved in the litigation side of practice, are confrontational, almost by definition. The practice of the law can be stressful and demanding enough, however, without personal animus and antagonism between practitioners adding to the load, as it sometimes unfortunately does. It is essential that you maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour at all times, remembering that you are now members of a profession which is different to a business. And remember this: the best advocates can and do make their point simply and succinctly. Often, less is more. Some of the most experienced lawyers and indeed judges could use that reminder from time to time, and I don't wholly exclude myself from that criticism. For a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible or difficult to understand. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others, sometimes by deciphering legal complexities, other times by deciphering poor legal drafting, and sometimes by simply getting to the bottom of a messy factual situation and explaining the rights and obligations in their proper legal framework. So I would urge you to strive to be clear and concise at all times in both your writing and your speaking, for to do so facilitates access to justice. In the practice of the law, your physical and mental health are both also extremely important, something we are far more conscious of today than even 20 or 30 years ago. There may, and I dare say will be, times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed, legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. Now, that's often because lawyers are well motivated, very driven to do their best for their clients and strive to go the extra mile, all of which is admirable, but it can take a toll in terms of being all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing, as I say. You must work hard to keep your balance and keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do so as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, as frankly we all have from time to time and possibly still do, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective. Also remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession. And in this context, I'm now going to call upon two young representatives, one of the New South Wales Bar Association and one of the Law Society, to offer a few words of welcome. Mr. Hanscom, do you move?
May it please the court. My name is Sebastian Hanscom, and I've been practicing for a little over half a year at the bar, predominantly in the areas of commercial and environmental law. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I would like to welcome you all to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old profession based on precedent and the rule of law, while also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technology, and importantly, to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the composition of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has, happily, changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds. It is an honour to be a lawyer, and in my case a barrister, and I'm proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual challenge of my job and that it allows me to give expert advice, to represent people in court, and to contribute to society in a meaningful way. If you are interested in coming to the bar, you can, of course, contact the Bar Association, and every year there's a Career at the Bar Open Day. In your first year of practice at the bar, as a reader, as I am, you would receive particular assistance from two barristers of at least 7 years seniority. That is, you are not alone. They meet with you weekly, review your work, and teach you practical skills. But the support you receive is not limited to those two barristers. The bar is renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers. There are also opportunities to become involved in the work of the New South Wales Bar, which is the professional body representing barristers in this state. It supports barristers and has a range of committees, including the New Barristers Committee, which organises social and educational functions for barristers in their first 5 years of the bar, like me, and a Diversity and Equality Committee, which promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar, which is to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, sexual preference, or anything else. Whether as a lawyer or a barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society or Bar Association and to use your skills to assist the community. It is a rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession. Once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession, and I congratulate you all on your admission today to this honourable court. If you please.
Mr. Puntaki of the Law Society of New South Wales.
May it please the court. My name is Jem Puntaki, and I blush at the suggestion that I'm a young practitioner from the Chief Justice. Some 10 years ago, I sat where you are seated today, and you are here being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step at the end of a long and arduous journey. You should all feel immensely proud of what you have achieved thus far. The legal profession, to which you now belong, has a home for the community of solicitors, and that is the Law Society of New South Wales, which serves 30,000 members flung far and wide across the state. The Law Society of New South Wales performs a critical function in the regulation of the profession, the hosting of continuous professional development events, the issuing of practice certificates, the formulation of policy submissions, the organisation of social events in the profession, and the publication of news and journal articles. Within the Law Society of New South Wales is an organisation called New South Wales Young Lawyers. As an early career lawyer, access to a strong network of peers is crucial. I have been an active member of New South Wales Young Lawyers throughout my career. At New South Wales Young Lawyers, you can join committees on your areas of practice and interest and attend meetings where the latest developments in the law are discussed and guests are invited to speak. You can organise events and take on leadership roles. You can draft policy submissions and develop a deep and focused understanding of a particular area of law. But wait, there's more. In New South Wales Young Lawyers, I have found friendship, inspiration, guidance, and support when I needed it most. By joining the Law Society and New South Wales Young Lawyers, you will gain access to professional support, conferences and events, a wide range of publications, professional development opportunities, mentoring, networking, volunteer opportunities, and so much more. It is the role of the Law Society to ensure that you, as a newly minted solicitor, can thrive and succeed in your new profession. If you had asked me what I wish I had been told 10 years ago when I was sitting where you sit now, it is this. Look around you now. You will meet good lawyers and great lawyers, sharp minds and dull bores, the wealthy and the indigent, the strong and the downtrodden. And I mean across the profession and across the clients you serve. And many of your colleagues around you will one day become partners and directors of law firms, general counsel in major companies, senior officers in government and regulators, senior counsel at the bar, and esteemed members of the judiciary. The lasting impression that your colleagues will hold of you as the years go by is not your legal acumen, intelligence, or your position in the profession. What they will remember is the way you treated them. In closing, congratulations to you all. Look up the Law Society of New South Wales and New South Wales Young Lawyers and start by joining a committee. We look forward to welcoming you into the Law Society community. May it please the court.
Thank you, Mr. Puntaki. You still look young to us, although not possibly the youthful Justice Chen on the far right. Can I say this to you all in closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, it's challenging, and it's satisfying, and it's populated by intelligent, committed, and dynamic people such as yourselves. You should be proud to be a lawyer, of your achievements to date, and of the profession you have just joined. It is a very important profession that underpins stability and cohesion in our community. You are now a very important part of that very important profession. So work hard, take pride in your work, look out for your colleagues, contribute to your community, and don't take yourself too seriously. We up here on the bench wish you all the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead and a full and rewarding career. And so on behalf of my colleagues on the bench and indeed all of the judges of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, I once again congratulate you on your admission this morning and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.